Hi folks, and welcome back to Meaningful Money. Still up here on a very windy Chapel Carn Bray. I do sort of ask for it, don't I, really? You know, I think I'm on the most sort of highest hill, I'm on the most westerly hill in England. Okay, Land's End is about 1.5 miles in that direction. I can see it from here. I can also see Penzance. I can see about 10 miles. In fact, I can just see on the horizon the Isles of Scilly, which is about 20 miles away. So, beautiful clear day, very windy though. And the sun is going down. It is 8:15. Gotta love summer's evenings for filming. This video is in a response to a chap called Philip who emailed me, and he emailed me a question which I'm surprised I haven't answered. 222 videos in or whatever I am, and I've never answered this question. And he asked simply, which is best, a pension or an ISA? Okay, should you have one over the other? So I'm going to answer that question. Hopefully it'll be useful for you. But as ever, before I do, my friends down here in the bottom right hand corner, that's Seven Investment Management. Now their logo is there because they continue to sponsor me here on Meaningful Money, and I'm very, very grateful to them for doing so. Now, which is best? Pension or ISA? Which is best? What do you think? Well, you know, the answer to that question is neither. Might not surprise you, but I'm going to do my sort of best to answer them by just giving you the key points about both. I'm not going to do pros and cons as such, because you know, a pro for one person is a con for another person. You know, the same sort of attribute of an ISA might be a good thing for somebody and a bad thing for somebody else. I'll give you an example of that in a minute. All right, so let's deal with similarities first. Okay, things which are similar between pensions and ISAs. They are both what I call tax wrappers. So they are simply sort of boxes, if you like, with different tax rules pertaining to them. They are different, okay, different sets of rules on each. But within that wrapper, within that box, you can invest in all kinds of different things. Stocks and shares, you can hold cash in some form or other. You can hold property, commercial property, but not residential properties. You can't buy houses in your ISA or your pension. You can buy all kinds of things, and they go inside the box, the tax box, right? And while those things are in there, they are growing largely free of tax, almost completely tax-free, but not quite. Not going to go into exactly why it's not quite. I'm just going to say tax credit on dividends. Okay, and if you look at, I can't remember what episode number, of course, but if you look at some of the income tax videos, or just search for dividends on meaningfulmoney.tv, you'll find some more information about that. So, you know, they're both wrappers. You can invest in lots of things, and they are largely tax-free. So let's look at ISAs first, okay? I'm going to just scooch a little bit, actually, and just bring in a bit of a graphic just to, you know, a bit of an aid memoir as we're going through this. So ISAs, first of all, you've got a limit. 11,280 is the current total any one person could put in any 1 year. You can split that in half between a cash ISA at, what's that, 5, 6, 40? Think about that on the fly then. And a stocks and shares ISA, or you can put all 11,280 in a stocks and shares ISA. So you can have cash and stocks and shares. 11,280 is your limit. Here's one of those pros which can also be a con. ISAs are accessible for the most part. Most of them you can get at immediately, or certainly within a fortnight or so. You can get cash ISAs which are locked up for 5 years, but as a rule they are accessible. You can get at your money. Why is that a pro and a con? Well, it depends on you. It depends how disciplined you are. If you want to put money away for the very long term and want to make sure you can't touch it, then an ISA might not be the best place. But if you're somebody who is disciplined to leave money invested and only get it if you absolutely need it, then that accessibility of ISAs is a good thing. Those are the key points of ISAs for the purposes of this discussion. There's more to it, of course. Just search ISA again and you'll find more detail. Wonder what that noise was there, but there's a horse only about 50 yards away, grazing. Next, pensions. Okay, now different limit. Okay, it's 100% of your earnings. There's definitions of earnings, which again I won't muddy the waters with today, but it's the 100% of your earnings, so the maximum of 50 grand a year you can put into a pension per person per year. One key difference, real sort of useful attribute of pensions, is that you get tax relief going in. Put simply, that means the government puts money in for you. right? They are inaccessible until age 55. Okay, again, that's a pro or a con, depending on you. You can't get at your pension, and in fact, even then, you can only get at 25% of it. You can never have the rest of your pension fund. You can never get at it. It has to buy you an income in some form. Okay, and that also tells you that when that income is paid out, it is taxable. The horse was getting closer. It's taxable income. Okay, so based on what we now know about ISAs and pensions, which is best? Well, as I've said, neither is best. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that in a minute. Come back in the middle. Neither is best. Instead, they both have different uses. Now, it's not quite as straightforward as saying, you know, if you're saving for the medium term, have an ISA. If you're saving for the long term, have a pension. No, what I tend to do with clients is, depends entirely on their scenario, but assuming they've got a good emergency fund in cash, then I'll suggest, yes, that they start paying into a pension, but that they put more initially into their ISA savings, because it's accessible and they can build up some accessible wealth alongside their pension. And I might sort of, as time goes on, tweak the balance between what they're paying into their ISA and what they're paying into their pension. The ideal scenario, of course, is that you have a good amount in both when you come to the point where you want to stop working and rely on your own financial planning to pay you an income. ISAs, remember, if you take an income from those or take withdrawals from those, they're tax-free, so they're really useful. So it's a fairly, not a clear-cut answer. Pensions or ISA, it just depends. The ideal scenario is to have both. But if you're going to save into one, if your budget currently only allows you to save into one, then save into an ISA, because you can get at that money. But when you've got a good amount in there, I'll let you decide what that might be, then you could think about redirecting some of that into a pension. Depends on age, depends on needs. See your advisor or send me an email and I'll see if I can help you. All right, hope that is helpful though. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you next time. I'm going to look at some more online tools that have come up since the couple of videos I did a little while ago on that. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.